Hi, this is Mia, and I do have, I'm getting ready to weigh in, and I just restarted the video because I had the music on. The battery's about to die. Can't hear. I thought I had a rechargeable battery in there. I don't know what I had. I was talking about going outside to take the trash out. My trash was all mold, and I was like, oh my god, no wonder I'm sick. I was like thinking it was pollen. I'm like, this doesn't feel like pollen. It was like all black. I was like, someone was like shaving, and their shaving hair was all over the bathtub wall, and I was like, or the shower wall, and I was like, oh my god, like that's so gross. I was like splashing it to try to get it off, and then I was like, oh my god, I didn't shave in here recently, and I'm like, oh my god, it's mold. Um, because my hair is black, and so I'm just sitting here like mad because there's been less trash thrown away. Like, even though my place is pretty trashed, it's like I was doing a better job of throwing stuff away, which meant, or I wasn't throwing my work trash away. Like, if I was lazy and left my banana peels or didn't eat, left everything in my backpack and then throw it away up here, which is why the banana peels and orange peels are in there. But, like, the more junk that gets thrown away, the more often the trash gets taken out. So it's 11:10. I really want to go to an AA meeting, and I'm so overwhelmed. Like, it's Tuesday, so the only meeting I know of right now is 12 to 1 in Lake Oswego. I might go. It's about a 15-minute drive. Can I submit my what you call it in 30 minutes? Yeah, if I sat down, but right now I got water on. I got meat in the oven. Because it's like if I submit it and get it in by 12, there's not another meeting. I got to be to work at 2:30. There's not another meeting. I'm supposed to go to a meeting after that. Whether my buddy goes or not. So I text all these people, like, I text like my friend back east and like these other people, and someone found me on Facebook Messenger, like, oh no, here comes a big stack of messages, and it's like everybody like ignored me, and I like called my sponsor because I've been trying to go over these stupid stuff. It says freaking 2/26/19 that I was supposed to go over step one in person, and she kept blowing me off. So I said, I'll call you, and one day it was my fault. The other days, she just blew me off. So I went on date night with somebody, and then I didn't call her when I got back home. I was probably late. But it's like, well, why shouldn't I go on date night if she blew me off all the other times? Like, why should I? Somebody actually wants to hang out with me. Why should I like postpone that and then show up at someone's house and they're not there because they're out of town, or because they're at a restaurant or a movie with somebody across town, and then go back home with my tail between my legs. So I'm like so mad right now. Like, all these people I thought were like my friend and they keep in touch and we gotta hang out, and like nobody wants to do it. Which are from the meetings. If you see about a meeting, that's about to the extent of it. This one lady's always like, oh, go to tea with the ladies, doing this, doing that. I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. Like, no one ever asked me to tea. And I went out with this lady once in 2015 or 2016. 2016. And I just cut my hours back at one of my jobs. And I was doing okay working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Pizza Hut, and then Friday or Saturday, Sunday, my weekend job, and then having Friday and Monday off. That's still tiring, but it gave me a chance to do stuff on Friday. But my buddy and I were hanging out on Fridays, like every Friday for like a month or something, and all of a sudden there's like no communication, no hanging out on Friday, and it kind of like hurt my feelings, like, cause then I was like, oh, I have a day off Friday and Monday, and then I work on the other days, so it's like I'm sitting here staring at my phone, waiting for this fella to call or text. And I'm like so sad because it's like what happened to like our day, my daughter. I was like so sad to bring it up with my daughter, like, oh, why is my stereo like that? She's like, oh, you should be more, you should learn to be spontaneous about stuff, you know. But it just made me feel like more like wanted and desired to be like, oh, we have Fridays off or Friday afternoons off or Friday evenings. It was fun. But I'm just like, in this Refuge Recovery book, and it talks about neediness and cleanliness or something. I wasn't gonna cry in this video. Ugh, impatient, demanding. God, I feel so sick. Clinging, attachment, and control. So let's read. That's where my bookmark is. So I'm gonna go on to page 31. This is by Noah Levine. To recover, we have to create the causes for recovery, to begin living more and more in the positive and less of the negative. We don't have to become perfect overnight, but we do have to strive for progress and balance on a daily basis. Understanding the four truths is at the heart of this aspect of the path. We suffer due to our addictions and the general difficulties of being human in this world of constant change and loss. Craving is a natural phenomenon. It's not our fault, but we are fully responsible for our healing and recovery. We can fully recover and enjoy a life of sanity and well-being. Four, this is a path. This is the path. Impermanence. Again, still on page 31. One of the key things to understand is that everything is constantly changing, both inside and outside of us. Our very bodies are in constant constant state of change. First, we grow up, then we grow old, then we die in our bodies. Our bodies continue to change and decay. On the physical level, this is obvious to most, but mentally, it can come as breaking news. All sensations, emotions, sounds, smells, tastes, sights, thoughts, feelings, moods, experiences, and relationships are impermanent. They all have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Nothing lasts, nothing is constant, nothing is permanent, just a rising and passing of phenomenon in the body. As we all found out as addicts, it is impossible to maintain a permanent state of intoxication. That was not our failure. As addicts, it wasn't because we weren't smart or rich enough. It was because it is impossible to win the battle against impermanence. Of course, the fact 32. Of course, the fact that life is impermanent could also be good news. It could work to our advantage. It won't last forever. For instance, impermanence is primarily problematic when life is pleasurable. Even when we enjoy ourselves, we still have to understand it won't last forever. If we live long enough, we will watch all our friends and family go through losses, illnesses, and difficulty and eventually die. Many of us have already experienced tremendous amounts of loss at young age. We live in a world of loss, of change, of constant instability. I'm just gonna write my name in this book. I'm so mad at myself for keeping this stupid bra that I should have taken back to the store. It's too big. The cup size is too big, and it's... Anyways, to recover, we must understand and accept impermanence. We must replace the reactive survival instinct of clinging, grasping attachment with the wise response of non-clinging, non-attachment, and compassion. In a world where everything is constantly being pulled beyond our grasp, clinging and grasping always results in the rope burns and unnecessary suffering that accompanies. So I'm gonna, since I was talking about being clingy, like I'm like staring at my phone. There's like, oh, there's nothing. I think what I'm gonna do is just go to me because, like, I feel kind of stupid to rush around, but I also know I have crap to do that I have to be an adult about. Um, At the first glimpse of insight into impermanence, people usually wonder, let me go back to the other one. To recover, we must understand and accept impermanence. We must replace the reactive survival instinct of clinging, grasping, attachment with the wise response of non-clinging, non-attachment, and compassion. I like that word, compassion. In a world where everything is constantly being pulled beyond our grasp, clinging and grasping always results in rope burns and unnecessary suffering that accompanies it. Unsatisfactory. At the first glimpse of insight into impermanence, people usually wonder, if everything's always changing, where can we find lasting happiness? The answer is simple. Once we stop looking for happiness in impermanent things, we begin to find an internal source of happiness that is not dependent on or addicted to circumstances. I have to read that again. Once we stop looking for happiness in permanent things, we can define an internal source of happiness that is not dependent on or addicted to circumstances. As we accept the unsatisfactory nature of all conditioned phenomena, we begin to seek the unconditioned source of all happiness. This is what the third truth points to. What we uncover or recover is the liberated heart of unconditional freedom. And then it goes on to page 33, which is understanding, and that's a few pages. I'm going to wait. It's not that many pages. And then intention. So I'm going to put the bookmark back in there. I feel crampy today. Oh, I feel crampy today, and I feel like sore throaty. I left a message with someone. I feel like, did I put my name in this yet? I don't want to lose it. Yeah, let me put my name in pencil. I gotta pay like $2,000 something on my credit card in the next couple of days. I'm not gonna be getting paid unless I didn't do any billing, so my office isn't gonna get paid. So this dropped crap. God, this will probably end up downstairs. So what God is telling me, I was trying to talk more about this. Oh, there's my pencil. Yesterday, there's like leftover from my thing I did. I was gonna talk about this yesterday. When my daughter was in the bathroom doing her hair. I feel like, I feel like, whoa, did I just do this upside down, backwards, inside out, twist to twist? Um, I still feel like God is saying, remember what I told you, like, develop this relationship, continue to, um, um, develop this relationship with this feller, and then after, like, I didn't want to break it off, but I was, like, in love, and I, like, felt like he was just gonna go hang out with me until he felt so much better, and that he already planned it. It wasn't like, oops, I oops, I've been hanging out with you, and all of a sudden I meet this other woman, and all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, yeah, this is more my speed. Turn this light switch off and turn this one on, you know. It was like, I felt like he was gonna plan on being with other women until he found somebody better than me that he would be with, and it broke my heart. Besides, um, these people I swear are bots. So it's like I cannot take this day. I gotta say I hate being so alone all the time. Like people that work nights with me, they sleep all day and then they're up. But like yesterday at this time, I was getting ready to go to work. And sorry, like, anyways, I felt like I did it because I didn't want to be hurt, and like someone or something that I love so much, I pushed away because I just I felt like undesired, and I think I have more batteries because this isn't gonna work. And if you weigh in when the batteries, I took them back downstairs. If you weigh in when the batteries don't freaking work, it will make you start over when it loses contact. So I'm gonna go down and get some more. Um, Sometimes I feel like if I'm staring at my phone, waiting for somebody, waiting for my buddy to contact me, I feel like God is saying like, oh, how do you know that this person is not doing the same thing? And you're like, oh, because in the beginning we had like the streak of messages, even if they were at night, like late at night. I'm pushing it by using the battery start working again. But it's like if my son feels this sad, like I feel like um this is like a really hard feeling to feel low and down and um I try just do the app for my work. I try so hard to um I try so hard to get my son out of the house and go out and walk, even a 5 or 10 minute walk, or to drive up to a store, or to drive up maybe to Mount Tabor or something. And he keeps like, no, I don't want to do this. So then I get super busy at work, and I end up having deadlines. And then if I'm home a little bit, it's like, oh, if he wants to do something or doesn't want to do something, and then I get like all like weird, like weirded out. Um, if he wants to do something then, and it's like, well, I didn't want to do something when I had 4 days off in a row, like last weekend. Why didn't anyone want to do anything then, you know? And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call my friend. I don't even care. I'm just gonna do it, and my water's gonna be done. Let me pause this. Hey, it's me. I was downstairs talking on the phone. My son's sleeping on the couch, so it's not a good scene because he's gonna be able to be woke up and hear me. My friend was at the library, so I interrupted her, and I feel bad. So this book is due. I think it's due on the 10th. I'm gonna take it back. I might not take it now, but Cheryl needs blueberries. So I'm gonna put that out in the car, and my Pizza Hut shirt I'm gonna put out in the car. I'll put the long sleeve on. It rolls up and has a fastener. Last week I don't know. I didn't even. These two things will go out to the car, and then I'm gonna make my bed. I have this. I never opened. The webinar wasn't supposed to end at like 12:31, but it was only like 40 minutes or something. I don't even know. This could go off. So I had about 12 items, maybe 20, that um, autoed themselves on eBay. And I don't like that, guys, because, hold on. I don't know how they got upload. What is that word I'm looking for? Auto upload. But it did. So it's 12:10. We missed a meeting. My friend might have wanted to go, and I kept her, so I felt bad. I need a sweater. Everything is going in the wash. If I turn the thing around, I can show you all of these clothes that are in the chair. I am like a mess today, and I feel like I'm like this every day, and I think a lot of it is not the guy that I like. Like, I want to try to scapegoat someone because that's how I was treated when I was a kid, and um, I my friend is off. So I just made my bed yesterday, even with that chunky freaking blanket. The word compassion came up. Someone said step 4 in Al-Anon. They use the words compassion instead of hitting yourself with a stick, and I really liked that. I really, really liked that analogy, or that way, because it's like you talked about it, inventory, and people are scared of it, and I was sitting thinking, like, I forget the steps now, like character defects, and, oh, I'm so cold. The window is open, we had a week of like warm weather. I was supposed to go outside and do freaking gardening and see if I got grounded a little bit more than I am now. So I read this a few minutes ago, but it was more than a few minutes ago because now it's 12:08. Clinging, attachment, controlling to the opposite of clinging. Okay, so let me text my friend. I'll just say, that have negative results. One was clinging. Attachment and controlling. Back to page 32. We must replace the reactive survival instinct of grasping and touching. Oh, good. Grasping. And you ever think about when you write the words, 3 words, clinging, comma, grasping, comma, and attachment? Some people would say put the comma between grasping and some people would say you don't need a comma. And I remember in med school we were proofing something, and Natalie was like, they're like, wait, do we need a comma here or not? She's like, you know what? I think she said, you know what? I think we should just. She's like, She's like, we had to be real careful. I think I'm really thinking we should put the comma or something. Like, I don't know. I just remember that conversation for like 2009. Attachment with non-clinging. Spell that word. Non. Oh my gosh, seriously. I choose the bathroom. Non-clinging. Non-attachment. And period. And I was in. There's in a world where everything is custody treaty progress. From Refuge Recovery. I'm gonna send her a picture. Okay. In a world where everything. Whoa. Like, I need some serious focusing. Oh my golly, jeepers, my fingers in front of the thing. I need, like, help here, people. Right, let's focus first. There we go. The problem is the book is not staying open. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it. Try to get it with one hand so that I can. It's not working. So I'm gonna use my iPad to get the book open. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why? I just totally moved. Alright, save. Let's send this. I'm tired of these ants in my drink. I I had a goal that I was gonna play Hearthstone, and the character played in for the past week has been. It was my first character. I think that I got the 20 points. I think that's when you're. No, I didn't get 20 with him. 20 is like when you can open up the arena. I don't know if they start at 1 and you work your way up. I don't know if it's 20 wins or what it means. So I say I had like 9 characters or whatever. I start at 1, and the more I play him, they go up towards 20. And he was my best player. So the lower rank on Hearthstone that you're supposed to be matched up with those type of other players at your level, maybe not exact level. And then as you work your way up, so at first he was my best. I was like, oh, I was always one with Paladin. If I said it right, Paladin. And then working my way up, I was doing the challenges, so I was getting like Warlock or the other guy like Magic. People were doing like they're giving me like Magic challenges using these cards so many times and winning so many times with the Shaman will get you the prize or your goal or whatever daily goal. If you don't do your daily goal, it's back for tomorrow. So I just spent a week not being able to get past beating anyone with Playdin, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I was ranked number 50, which is the lowest, but now I think I'm 31, or I might have been 32, like, this weekend. So I was like, this is not a big deal. I think it stops when you get to level 25, I don't know. And I think it goes to a different category, 25, I'm not sure. Something turns into legendary, I don't know what it is. But, I made a custom deck, actually put finished deck for me. I didn't mean to do that. But I actually made another deck. Or I actually made another deck on purpose. Because I was trying to see. I like taunt cards, so those are basically like your warrior. No, you can't fight anybody else, or the bad guys can't get you unless they have a hurt the hero card. If you have a taunt, so they will have to shoot the taunt first, and then send it again because the picture is in a too narrow. I was almost gonna read it. I got this. I'm gonna read it. Anyways, I felt guilty playing video games at night, like in the middle, like at 5:30 in the morning or whatever. I should have been sleeping, and then I didn't wake up, so someone's alarm went off on their car at 8:30. But like that's quite a way to wake up, and I'm like, oh shoot! I heard Ella say, oh shoot! I didn't tell her bye. And I just laid here at 5:30 in the morning. I didn't necessarily win. And I was like, I have a goal, a mini goal, and that's to beat somebody with this character. And I beat somebody with that character, and they actually gave up and threw in the towel. And I again this morning, the same thing happened. I put a whole bunch of taunts and other characters on the board, and they just said, I concede. And so I was like, whatever. So I still don't have my taxes on. I'm yapping on this computer and I'm playing with my phone. I felt like God was like, don't worry about work. Don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. When I said don't worry about work, my shoulders just relaxed. Don't worry about work. Don't worry about taxes. Is it due today? No. Is it due by midnight today? No. Is it due by midnight today? Tomorrow? Wednesday? Thursday? Friday? No. So you get it done by Thursday. Will that be easy? Maybe not. Will I be doing a double shift Thursday? No. Why? Because she took me off of it. Will I be working Friday somewhere? Yeah. Saturday? Yeah. Sunday? Yeah. Monday? Yeah. Tuesday? Okay, forget about that. And I have some other crap I gotta do. So, let me do this. I have to say something. In a world where everything is constantly being pulled beyond our grasp, clinging and grasping always result in the rope burns and unnecessary suffering that accompanies it. Okay. I was just saying my lazy butt actually used my technology the way it's supposed to be. Everything. Okay, I didn't get this. And swipe. In a world where everything is constantly being pulled beyond our grasp, clinging and grasping always result in rope burns. Get rid of the word though. And unnecessary suffering that accompanies it. So I used to use the microphone. This is a really old phone. There's a couple of years ago, I used a microphone for my work to do my reports because I do 30-minute reports. Now it's like 10 to 15. I do these long reports, and it'd be like it would always end up with cuss words, and because I had to go back and fix it, and then I was using the computer. I don't know. It was a mess. I had to go back, and then it was like hard to read it, and then it would get stuck, and then the app or whatever would kick me off, and then I was like trying to email myself pictures to my computer so I could put the upload. It was a mess. So it was like I just started using the phone, and then they would pay us 30 minutes outside of work to do that. So I would just say if it took me 15, 20, 25 minutes plus any emails, schedule checking phone calls you may accompany, I would just estimate at 30 minutes because they send emails and all this stuff, and you gotta do this, you gotta do this survey, blah, blah, blah. So I had this tutor who really messed with my life in school and caused me some issues unjustifiably. And I I didn't tolerate this stuff. I knew in my heart that it was wrong. And because of racism and demographic of being a single mom, the racism made it hard. I talked to relatives about this, like that's not wrong, that's illegal. And when they were my age or my level of school, um, a little bit before like undergrad, the law was that they had to go to black schools, and so their law was different than my law, and they didn't experience these things themselves. So I I ended up like I ended up like um how to say it, like feeling like I don't know. Was I still talking about work? I just totally zoned out. Anyways, I had this dream. Oh yeah, this girl, this lady. Yeah, I ended up saying I don't know if I should make waves because a generation before me would not have been allowed to really go to medical school. And I was in the Charles Drew Enrichment Laboratory, and he helped all the soldiers that were getting the blood transfusion were dying until he figured out how to do correct blood transfusions. And then he got in a car accident. I read this at New Seasons, or sorry, when it was Wild Oats, Whole Foods Wild Oats on the east side. Was it Black History Month or something? Or Martin Luther King? It's 2 different months, January, February, one year, a long time ago. When I still stopped there, it might have been December. Right? I feel like they still had living Christmas trees. But they had a poster right next to the front door, and I read it because it talked about Charles Drew. I'm like, I was in a Charles Drew lab. I didn't actually know who Charles Drew was. My mom had a bust of him on the piano. She had a bust of him, Martin Luther King Jr., and some other black people. I don't know if she had anything else. She had a whole bunch. Those busts would be nice to have. And I didn't know if it had much about him on the bust. And I ended up like having this say that he had gotten a car accident, but he wasn't allowed in the hospital because it was whites only. So when he went to a black hospital, he didn't get the proper care, or they couldn't do a blood transfusion, or it was too late because it took too long, and he died from bleeding out when he saved millions of people with blood transfusion technology at the time, which wasn't work. It was working for some. I don't know if it was the ABO, RX, or RH factor. I don't remember because now that now that I went through med school, I understand blood typing, and I I I like I feel like okay, let's go back to the dream. So I had this dream. So I bought my buddy some gluten-free noodles because I was gonna make like I don't have time to do it now. I leave in an hour and a half. I was gonna make I gotta finish my laundry. Actually, I think I finished it already. I just gotta finish the food. I gotta put a 2-minute timer on. I had bought this pasta and I had some in the cabinet. I think I threw away. So I'm like, I'm not gonna eat this. I thought my daughter. So I had 3:55 left on my clock yesterday. I thought my daughter said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind eating that." I was like, "Oh, I got it for my buddy," um, and because I was like, "Oh, I had this dream I was gonna make you a bunch of pasta sauce and give him some and the organic pork and organic beef and all this stuff." And I ended up um, like I ended up like I start crying, holding it out to my daughter yesterday. And I woke up. When I woke up, I had this dream. It was actually like it was at the naturopath school. There was like 2 levels, and I don't know if it was, but that's how I woke up thinking. There was this lady. I think I got her name wrong. I think I put Andrea. I think it might be Andrea. I didn't like her. She was a fake. She wasn't smart as she acted like she was, and she had like shiny, glossy, almost like those eBay thank you notes I had yesterday. I like shiny glossy. So she had like this rally going. It's almost like politics, but it was like whatever her business was or her thing she was doing. She had like all of this publicity upstairs. And we had another group downstairs where we were really true to our profession and compassionate to one another. And the group was super small. So say it was like 20 people, where hers was like 300 people, and they had like all these tables and all this noise and all this stuff they were passing out. I noticed like these color signs going up and down the stairs, these banners and these posters perfectly laid out. And I ended up fiending freaking rice noodles, man, and with butter. And it's like she had some up there, and we had our little thing downstairs. It was so distracting to hear the people up there because you could hear them over the up the stairwell. So it was like this rally. So downstairs, I was like, I gotta get some noodles. She has some up there. I'm gonna get a bowl, of rice noodles and put a lot of butter in it. And it was like my little wooden bowls I had, but they were bigger. And I felt like I kept getting noodles, putting a whole bunch of butter. And it was hot, so it melted. And I was just like, like I remember dumping the salt, and actually too much salt went out. I was like, oh, these are so salty and everything. And then I would end up losing my bowl of noodles. So I had to go around her party to go get more noodles and get another bowl and get some more butter and melt the butter. So I was going through this insanity over and over again. And I was like, remember the taste of that butter and that salt. And I had in my mind, let me tell this person this meeting place while she's still looking at her phone. In my mind, I was like, going down, or in the dream, I was going back down the stairs, and there was a tall, older blonde man holding a baby. I was like, oh my god, what if that's my future baby? He was holding a baby. A future baby. If I have a future baby, I would be. Uh, if I premeditate, if I prophesize, I would have my future baby. I would be pregnant at age 45, which would be in 3 years. It would be less. It would be less than 3 years if I would be having a baby when I was 45. That would be potentially what I just said. And that was weird. So this older, blonde, tall, skinny guy was carrying a baby up the stairs, and he like wasn't nice. So there was a sink that had a faucet that kind of went right to the corner of the sink. So this is the corner, and the faucet could be like this, but so it's like the water's starting to run over a little bit, and it was like you turned it like that and made a mess. And I was like, oh crap, we can't sabotage, And thinking about it, I was like, it was just a dream. God, I'm sorry. Like, why would you damage the school when it's the people you don't like? Because basically they were being fake and they were taking all of the what is this crap? No way. Anyways, it was a real weird dream. Portland, or I should put Oregon. Shoot, PDFs. Okay. So I was like, I cared and I was mad because I was honest and this person was fake and using wealth and shiny glossy to get all these followers. And but then I was so distracted by this noodle addiction that I was just like, let's see, what's today? Well, that's the new meeting. 90 minutes. God, that's a long time. These meetings can be really long. Let's see if I can copy this. No, that's not today. That's crap. That was. Wait, let's skip that. That was. A noodle. Kung Fu Panda. The noodle. Dad, I had the noodle dream. I'm gonna text my boss. This is a day in the life of. Hello. Oh, I said Jello. Jello. Today is the day. This day. Today is the day that I. Let's just say that.
I gotta leave and I gotta get ready to go. It's gonna take a half hour, so it's gonna give me an hour to do my taxes and find. So what I was gonna do while I was recording was find the tax forms from my. I only have to go to 2 websites for my student loans, and then I lost. I had a $300 interest, which sucks. It was incentive from a bank. If you open a new account and spend $300, you get $300 back. So I'm like, that was pointless. Now it's gonna raise my income up. So I gotta do that and the arts tax. What I should do. The thing is about my daughter, I didn't look up the fine print of her tax. So I think I'm just gonna pay hers and submit it before I leave. That's gonna be my goal. So my goal, so that dream was crazy. My house smells like noodles. Oh, so good. Let me go check the food.